you have the air. Shots fired. I think you're holding up the shot squad. All three shots. 3751 South Polk at a 10-1.
I'm sitting here outside the Vasquez Circus at 25th and Costner in the South Lawndale neighborhood. Took me on a tour in there. It's pretty cool. That is one big top. It's big in there. Holds a lot of people. Places like this are very important for the neighborhoods in Chicago. You know, the community gets together here and the kids enjoy themselves and the parents got a nice safe place to take their kids. But this is the better side of Chicago. When I can, I'm going to show you things that are happening in Chicago when I run across them. Unfortunately, it's time to get back to the reality that's plaguing Chicago. A man was just shot on Jackson and Cicero, and I'm heading over there now. 40-year-old man was just shot here at Cicero and Jackson in the West Garfield Park neighborhood. There's still a lot of people out here. The body's in the street. It's unclear what took place here, but according to one witness on the scene, somebody ran up at point blank and shot him in the head and took off. That's all I got on this shooting. But it's another man dead on the streets of Chicago. I've got an update on that man that was shot on Jackson in the West Garfield Park neighborhood. The shooter approached on foot and shot the man right in the face. The man was pronounced dead on the scene, as I said. But the shooter fled on foot, and no suspects are in custody.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me, man! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't fucking touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me, man! Don't fucking touch me, man!
Garfield Park is ranked number 3 on the list of the most violent neighborhoods in Chicago. So far this year, there have been 25 homicides and 179 people have been shot and wounded. Normally after shots fired, they blanket the area looking for the shooters. It looks as though we have a gang roust going on here. Looks like they're looking for a gun. So, yeah, that's what they're doing. Looking, searching the vehicle. Yeah, very common sight here in Chicago. A 36-year-old woman was just shot in both legs at Sacramento and Lexington in the North Lawndale neighborhood. She was standing on the sidewalk when a green SUV drove by, fired a bunch of shots. Lady was struck twice. She was taken away by ambulance and is in critical condition. So far this year, in the North Lawndale neighborhood, there have been 32 homicides and 160 people have been wounded in shootings. North Lawndale, on the list of the most violent neighborhoods, ranks number 4. Friday turned out to be a pretty violent night here in Chicago. 5 people were killed and 12 were wounded in shootings across the city. The majority of those shootings happened over a 6-hour period on Friday. To start the day today, a man tried to rob an armored car in Little Village, and the armored car courier shot him multiple times, and he is in critical condition. And a 13-year-old boy was shot in Little Village early this afternoon, and he's in stable condition, and they say he was shot in the arm, I believe, so I think he'll be okay. It's a hell of a way to start off Saturday here in Chicago.
2 people shot.
Ambulance 49.
What about ambulance 49 on scene?
Second victim that shot.
The second victim. No slowdown yet, 920.
There's a car that shot up at 4807 on Loomis. And again, multiple rifle casings on the corner of 48th and Loomis.
2 men were just shot in the back of the yards neighborhood at 48th and Loomis. We're standing on a corner when an SUV pulled up and fired multiple shots at these guys. 1 man was shot in the arm. The other man was shot in his legs and in the stomach. Both were taken away by ambulance. And the shooter or shooters are still at large. So far this year in the back of the yards neighborhood, there's been 15 homicides and 75 people have been shot and wounded. Back of the yards is ranked 10th on Chicago's list of most violent neighborhoods. And back of the yards and Canaryville are combined now, and they are named New City, the New City neighborhood. We got a guy shot on the 5000 block of North Bernard. I'm heading there now. I'm in the North Park neighborhood on Chicago's far north side. A man was just shot and killed at 5000 North Bernard. The man was found face first on a little suspension bridge. He was shot multiple times. He was pronounced dead on the scene. The shooting took place about 2 blocks south from where he is, because that's where the shell casing markers are located. It looks as though the man was shot there. The circumstances of the shooting are unknown, and then worked his way south where he collapsed and died on the suspension bridge. Now, there are no suspects in custody, and the shooter or shooters are still at large. The North Park neighborhood is a quiet neighborhood, and the reason I know that is because in 4 years I was never on a scene here for a shooting. So this is a recent first for North Park as well as for me. Another violent weekend has come to an end here in Chicago. 4 people were killed and 28 were wounded in shootings across the city. Now, over the past week, 15 people were shot and killed, and 67 were wounded in shootings across the city. Now, year to date here in Chicago, 496 people have been shot and killed. We're coming up on 500. And 2,084 were wounded in shootings. The total number of homicides are 533. Maggio News signing off.